What is going on, people? Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to more Rocket League news out there. Following the conclusion of regionals this past weekend, we'll probably touch on that at some other point. I did want to follow up on the Scrubkilla story, as we now have his side of the story as to why he actually left Mousesports mid-season. To give you guys also a bit of preface as well, he did say in the initial video we covered about this, he did not want to be a slave to anyone when referring to an organization like Mousesports. Also unanswered questions about exactly why he was fined, apparently several times, some pretty hefty fines, why he was not representing Mousesports in his social media, and also to preface and give you guys the knowledge out there that some people overlook is that he actually offered to stick it out for the entire season. He gave his 2 weeks notice. He said he was going to play with the team. The team chose to play without him instead, so there's no hard feelings towards him. I don't think any of these players, at least based off their responses so far, have any hard feelings towards each other. The main thing here is Scrubkilla versus Mousesports. I expect a Mousesports response to this because his response does not paint a very good picture for an organization like Mousesports. I wouldn't say anything too serious as of right now. His first response, he actually said he did not want to be a slave to anyone, and now he's saying he was actually breaking the law while playing for Mousesports. In his first tweet longer, and of course his response as well will be linked down below for you guys, as he does state, the CEO of Mousesports refused to agree into the contract being active if my dad did not co-sign. After explaining that at 16 you no longer have a legal guardian in Scotland, the org decided to ignore this and continue pursuing my services. Mousesports representatives were persistent upon me being an employee rather than a contractor. My problem with this was I'd fall under working time regulations. If you guys don't know, working time regulations actually vary from region to region. Typically though, if you are under 18, as Scrubkilla is, you could be limited to 40-hour work weeks. As I'm sure you guys are well aware, as a professional esports player in any esport, you're probably working more than that 40 hours. So I imagine that's where Scrubkilla, as he actually put it himself, began to get a bit anxious and a bit nervous about playing under Mousesports while breaking the law as well. Because when it comes time for competing, traveling, scrims, which is practice, and of course his own content, whether it be streaming or YouTube or other things on the side as well, you can imagine he was easily working over those 40-hour work weeks. He has now taken to Twitter to clarify as well, you cannot actually opt out of those regulated hours until you are above the age of 18, which he is not. So he still would be subjected to apparently 40-hour work weeks, of which he was working far more than 40 hours, and that's where his nerves came in as to why he wanted to be a contractor and not an employee under Mousesports. As he goes on to state, he tried to continue to be a contractor for the organization instead of an employee. They said not to worry about it, and that's when he felt extremely anxious all season long and uncomfortable whilst potentially breaking the law. So he did take to Twitter afterwards to clarify a few of the concerns and questions that people had, and I'm not a legal person, right? I can't tell you guys whether or not he was breaking the law. I can't tell you guys whether or not the law would have pursued him if he was, breaking the law, which we presume, according to his own word, he felt he was, and that's why he felt uncomfortable. At the end of the day, this doesn't seem, as of right now, too big of an issue. I'm very curious what Mouz would respond about this because, Scrubkilla, although he felt pressured, although the organization would not let him sign without his dad co-signing, I'm not really sure how that's a relevant piece of the argument here. The other stuff, though, about them not wanting him to be a contractor and instead to be an employee, and also unanswered questions about him not wanting to rep them on his social media. Other than that as well, apparently getting fined for several times, but supposedly connected to him not representing the organization as well. It seems that both sides certainly have unanswered questions as of right now. At the end of the day, though, he seems a lot happier not being a part of Mousesports, and Mousesports has continued on without him as well. A very, very interesting point, a very interesting response. Certainly not covering all of the questions people have, but definitely a few of the big ones. It's actually Scrubkilla apparently breaking the law, playing for Mousesports. He is now away from the organization. It's curious, though, now that he's not a part of Mousesports, he admitted to possibly breaking the law. Is it okay now? I don't know. As long as he's happy, the team's happy. We'll see if Mousesports responds about this, and other news coming soon for all of you Rocket League fans out there as well. Until next time, drink your coffee, drink your water. I'll see you guys back here sometime soon.